News updates online at 560theanswer.com.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Destination Retirement with Robert Kuhn. Sunday mornings at 11. Sponsored by Kuhn Capital Partners in Naperville.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios. This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. So we got our annual golf outing at McRae in Barrington a week from today, next Wednesday.
Yep, we sure do. And we still have some foursomes, twosomes, and singles available if you'd like to play. Go to 560theanswer.com/golf. It's presented by Signature Bank, but we have a number of sponsors, and it's really just a wonderful morning, afternoon, and evening to be with like-minded people and to help a great organization, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation.
Yes, Tunnel to Towers, we talked about it a bit last week, but just to revisit, I'm sure many people listening are familiar with the good work Tunnel to Towers has been doing since 9/11. Particularly salient, even more salient after what happened earlier this week with the death of Chicago police officer Crystal Rivera in the line of duty. Tunnel to Towers rallying to support first responders across the country who are killed in the line of duty among the work that they do. For more on that, we're pleased to be joined by Tom McDonough, who's the director of the National Golf Series for Tunnel to Towers. Tom, thanks for being with us. Appreciate it.
Dan and Amy, thank you for having me on today. We appreciate it.
Yeah. Have you gotten wind of the Crystal Rivera, Chicago police officer who was killed in the line of duty? Are you guys familiar with that yet? Has that bubbled up to the surface?
Yes, I know it's being looked at, and I'm sure if there are children under I don't know every single detail about it, but it's being looked at closely by our foundation.
Yeah, she has an 11-year-old daughter.
Yeah,
who had her birthday this past weekend.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, tell us. I mean, I guess just to add some color and additional substance to what I said about Tunnel to Towers, the work that you guys do, the work that golf outings like the one we're doing together next week help you do.
Yes. So basically, I'd like to just run through what Stephen Siller did on 9/11. Stephen Siller was an off-duty New York City firefighter who had just finished the night shift at Squad 1 in Park Slope, Brooklyn. Squad 1 is an elite firefighting unit for the FDNY. Steve was on his way home to playing a golf outing that morning with his three brothers when he heard on the scanner that a plane had hit the World Trade Center. Steve called his wife, Sally, asked her to call his brothers that he would catch up with everyone later. Turned his car around, went back to his firehouse. That firehouse was already empty. Everybody on duty in that firehouse that morning lost their lives. Steve grabbed his gear, threw it into his truck, drove to the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel, which connects Brooklyn to Lower Manhattan. The tunnel into Manhattan was closed for security purposes already. So Steve left his car at the entrance to the tunnel, grabbed his 60 pounds of gear, and started to run the 1.7 miles through the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel. They turned out to be his final footsteps, but he was able to take part in a rescue effort that morning that saved thousands and thousands of people's lives. The foundation was formed to honor his sacrifice as well as the sacrifice of all the other first responders lost that day and all who continue to sacrifice for our country. And one thing I always try to remind people is we're the luckiest people in the history of civilization. We live in the greatest country ever that God's ever created, and we're so fortunate to have those that protect us at home as well as abroad.
Yeah, I should add, obviously I was focused on first responders, but of course, Tunnel to Towers also supports Gold Star families, injured veterans as well, members of our military.
Absolutely, yeah. So our main programs our smart home program for catastrophically injured veterans, as well as first responders, are in the line of duty program for fallen first responders, and Gold Star family programs. And our most ambitious program, which we're starting up, is to eradicate homelessness among the veteran community. We've already serviced over 10,000 homeless veterans since the program started 2 years ago. To get back to these golf events and these fundraising events, these are all absolutely essential to fund these programs to help us do the good work that we're doing, because without everybody pulling on the line, we can't get this work done. So we absolutely need everybody in the WIND community, as well as all over the country, to help us in our mission.
And again, we have a number of foursomes left, twosomes, even singles. Go to 560theanswer.com/golf. Now, in regards to the homeless vets and that project that you're undertaking, how do you convince the homeless vet to come into one of your facilities to say, hey, we want to help you? Because a lot of people are homeless for a reason, because they want the freedom of it.
Yeah, so we're not naive. It is a very complicated issue. And often it can be difficult, but we've been able to have a pretty substantial impact so far. And our plan is not to stop until this issue is eradicated. There are 47,000 homeless veterans across our country, and that's a disgrace in the greatest country in the world. And we're not going to stop until that issue is eradicated.
How many golf outings do you guys do? Like, how central is this fundraising approach to the overall development of Tunnel to Towers and support for the work that you're describing?
Yeah, so we have a pretty robust golf program. We have about 160 various events throughout the country, throughout different times of the year, and we love the WIND event as well. But we have other events that we do. We have thousands of different types of events, including runs and various other events across the country. But in terms of our golf program, it's pretty well spread out, and it's very strong.
Yeah, no, I just say, there's a lot of ways to intersect with Tunnel to Towers, T2T.org, but I just wanted to focus on the golf piece in terms of how integral that is to your fundraising, and in addition to small dollar donors and all the other things that a nonprofit does, but that golf program is something that's really central to what you guys do in terms of money raised.
Yeah, it is. It's in terms of money raised, as well as getting in front of everybody and just informing them of what our mission is. Yeah, that's equally as important as being able to look people in the eye and tell them that last year we paid off over 200 mortgages across the country. So the last couple of years that we've been 200 and 200 plus in terms of, unfortunately, in terms of paying off mortgages, because that means first responders have been lost in the line of duty, our Gold Star families. And as we've increased our ability at raising funds, we've expanded our mission so that we now cover catastrophically injured first responders, and we'll give them smart homes if needed. If there are training deaths in the military, we'll be covering them as well, as long as they have young children and children under the age of 18. So as we've gotten bigger and we've expanded our mission, and we'll continue to do that. And the homeless veteran program is a prime example of that as well.
Yeah. And the other thing that's cool about your organization is, because of its genesis, you have so many first responders and veterans that are involved on the programmatic side, on the ambassador side too. So it's a lot of it is first responders and veterans helping first responders and veterans.
Absolutely, and it's veterans, and it almost feeds upon itself. We have a tremendous ability to reach out to ambassadors, to get volunteers, to get people to help us in the fundraising effort. We're fortunate to do well with larger companies and corporations, but we are a grassroots organization. We have hundreds of thousands of monthly donors, grassroots people, and that's really who we are. It's the first responder community, it's the military community, and that's what we're very comfortable dealing with. And we're also fortunate to have strong support from the business community as well as large corporations.
Tom McDonough is the director of the National Golf Series for Tunnel to Towers. We're part of that series. Our outing a week from today, June 18th at McRae and Barrington. And if you want to sign up, or if you're unable to attend but you want to make a donation to Tunnel to Towers, you do that too. Sign up for our golf outing, Amy.
Go to 560theanswer.com/golf. And real quick, if you own or make the marketing decisions for your company, if you purchase a foursome, we'll give you 25 one-minute commercials. That's great. So you can help elevate your company. You can help Tunnel to Towers Foundation, and you can have a great day of golf. So again, 560theanswer.com/golf.
Tom McDonough, director of National Golf Series for Tunnel to Towers. Tom, thanks so much.
Thank you very much. Looking forward to the event next week.
Yep. See you then. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Hi, I'm Ken Mariotti, owner of Woodland Windows and Doors, a third-generation family-owned business since 1969. We know you're bombarded by choices when shopping for new windows or doors, so we're inviting you to experience the Woodland difference. For decades, we have been transforming living spaces with Marvin Windows, a fifth-generation family business. Marvin replacement windows have been known to increase the